It's the weekend. It's the weekend. And because it's the weekend, we are saying, let's forget all about the week that has passed. Let us forget all issues that may have occurred. Let us put it all behind us because it's the weekend. And on the weekend, it's time for us to do us. So, good night, everyone. Welcome to CNJ Let We Talk. And it's the weekend, and on the weekend, what we do are all the things that we love. That's not to say that during the week you don't do all the things you love, But I'm saying that for this weekend and all weekends to come, we are going to positively put ourselves in a manner where we can relax, we can enjoy life, and we just get ourselves recharged for the week ahead. So it's the weekend. And what I'll be talking about today are some different things that we can actually do this weekend to get ourselves fresh and get ourselves happy and get ourselves revitalized for next week. So it's the weekend. All right. Now, I have a list of 10 things that I want to share with you. These are things that I do personally myself. Some of them are things that I will be incorporating into my lifestyle. So all 10 things coming up right now. And remember, you can comment. Give me the things that you normally do on the weekend. All right, we can talk about it and so on, and we can just so that we can enlighten people and let them know that on the weekend, if you're not working, because some persons work on the weekend as well, but on the weekend, if you're not working, these are some things that you can actually do. Okay, so the first thing I'm saying is that when it's the weekend, we need to just switch off those phones. Switch off those phones or those pages or turn off the notifications on certain things. But remember, before you can switch off, ensure that you have completed everything that you ought to do. So you have completed everything that you ought to do, and now you're going to switch off and have some time for you to revitalize and refresh yourself. So switch off all of those notifications, all of those phones, and just start concentrating on yourself and your family. All right? So that's the first thing. The next thing we're going to do after we have switched off all of those different things is to make some plans. Now, from Thursday or Wednesday, you can make some plans for your weekend. Because it's not everybody can just move up. You can just touch upon and say, let us go do this. And they're ready and available. All right. So you make your plans. All right. But if you haven't made plans, it's today, it's Friday, you haven't made plans yet, go ahead and start making some plans, all right? Some plans for the weekend. And contact some individuals that you want to go out with on Saturday or Sunday or so on, or you're going to after church on Sunday or church on Saturday. Make some plans from now so that if you're not doing anything tonight, being Friday night, you have something sorted out for Saturday. And in some parts of the world, remember, you have your curfew going on and so on. So make those plans so that you are set. All right. Now, one thing that we need to try to do, especially since we need to be out in the sun some more, so that we are getting those, good vibration from the sun and all of that, is we need to be outdoors more. What we normally do now, what I normally used to do, is that when I get home on a Saturday, I sleep until I feel I'm well rested. Still sleep. But what I'm saying, organize some times to be on the outside. Get some outside action from the sun. Go walk in the morning, or go walk down to the beach, or walk on a hike if you live in near the mountains or so on. Get some family members together and just go and do a walk or something. So be outside a little. Enjoy life a little on the outside and get that needed sun that our body actually needs. All right? The next one is do something new every weekend. Do something new every weekend. Surprise yourself. Do something new. Sometimes when we're doing the same old all the time, man, it kind of get monotonous and you get dreary and you're wondering, what is this life about? We need to start living. We need to start enjoying this life. So what I'm saying is that every weekend, and if not every, but most weekends, go and try something new. When we say try something new, we don't mean you're going to spend a lot of money. Listen to a new type of music. Go and do a new type of task that you don't normally do. But talk to somebody that you have never spoken to before. But do something outside of your comfort zone. Go and do something new. How many that? So I gave you number one, to switch off your gadgets, right? Turn off your phone and so on for at least as much of the weekend that you can. Then I said, make some plans. If you haven't made plans yet, when it's Friday evening, make some plans for Saturday and so on. Then I said, get active. All right. Go outside and walk and greet some people or something. Get some needed sun on your body, man. Go outside. And then I said, the next thing you ought to do this weekend is to try something new. Try something new. The next thing now that we're going to do, and this is now number 5 or number 6, because we're going from 10 down to number 1. So number 6 now is connect with family. Oftentimes during the week, we are so rushing to and fro. We're rushing to and fro that we don't get the time to actually sit and talk to our family members. So on the weekend, we should make it our point of duty to just catch up with the family and so on. Talk to them, understand what happened to them during the week and what is happening and so on. Take the time on the weekend, not just to be rushing about, but to spend some time with family. You will enjoy it and you will be happy that you did. All right. Number 5 now is we need to invest in a hobby. Invest in a hobby. Now, right now, YouTube is my hobby. YouTube is my therapy. YouTube. So I'm investing in it. I'm putting in the time. I'm putting in the learning hours and all of that. So right now I'm doing this live and I'm doing it because it is a happy place for me, right? So we're saying you need to, every weekend, we need to invest in your hobby. Are you learning something? What is it that you enjoy to do? Because what happens sometimes, we become so competitive in every area of our life that we need to have a hobby, something that we just enjoy doing, that we don't have to try to be the best at it, but we just love doing it. So what we're saying is that on the weekend is a time where you can get into your hobby and do the things that you like to do. It doesn't have to be something that you're competing at, because when you start to compete, it changes a little, right? So just do something that you like doing and do it on the weekend. So you can relax, man. So you can relax and then put that smile back on your face, because sometimes we are so serious. But we need to have that thing where we can smile and enjoy and just feel good about ourselves. So we're counting down to number 1. Remember that? We're counting down to number 1. So number 4 is to cook that meal that you always wanted to eat. Cook that meal. If you're not somebody who likes to cook, you don't have to have this on your list. But what we're saying is that during the week, you're so rushed to do work and family and all that stuff. You're so rushed that sometimes you're not able to eat the way you ought to eat or do the things that you like to do. So we're saying go and cook that meal that you've always wanted to try. Spend the time that you have to go through and just perfect it. And when you finish cooking it and so on, that is goes for female and male. You call your family together and you sit around the table and you just enjoy the meal that is there for you. It's the weekend. You're going to do all the things that you wanted to do. And if this is not something that you wanted to do, you can take it off your list. Have a top 5 or put something else in the space, all right? But I would recommend that you go and try out this recipe and you will enjoy it with your family members and friends. I'm counting down to number 1, remember? And now it is number 3. And number 3 is what I do every day, especially this week. Count your blessings. What are the things that God has been doing for you, or the good things that are happening in your life? Count your blessings. Sit back and look at all that God has been doing for you, all the things that you have been able to achieve in your life thus far. Count your blessings. Every weekend, just take stock of all the wonderful things happening for you, and you will start feeling good within yourself. Because let me tell you something, more good things happening for you than the bad things that are happening. The next thing is And this is what I am practicing a lot now. Because I used to tell people I'm a serious person. But what I've been doing a lot now is smiling. So what you're saying is that on the weekend, find things to just laugh about. Things that you can just say, whoa, God, and just laugh and enjoy yourself. Because when you start to change from a frown to a smile, your entire nature just becomes different. So what we're saying, find things to laugh about. And you see how close to number one that is? That is number two, that you're to find things to laugh about. Laugh and enjoy yourself, man, because life is good. No matter what is all the wrong things happening. We're in a pandemic right now, but we can still find things to laugh about. We can still find things to find joy in. And that is number two. So listen now. If we look at all of those things from number 10 right to number two, let us look at what number one is. The first thing that you're supposed to do this weekend. And when you do when you do number one, it clears up your weekend for you to be able to enjoy the weekend, when you do number one. And this is it. When you're going to leave the office or school or whatever it is that you do in life, what you should do before you leave is to ensure that you look ahead. Sit down and schedule out what it is that you have to do next week. Write out all the things that you have to do. Is it an assignment you have to do? Is it something, a job you have to talk to an individual? Write down everything that you actually have to do for the next week. Put a schedule in place. When you go out for the weekend, have a little notepad that if an idea comes to you, you just write it down. Why? Because you're not going to stop all those things you're doing to enjoy yourself on the weekend to go do some work. But if an idea comes to you, just write it down so that when you go into work or go to school on Monday, you have it all ready and you're able to work free. But if you go to the weekend and you have all of these unfinished things that you have to do, and there are so many things that ideas that you want to implement next week, and you don't have something to just write it down on so that you remember it for the next week, you're going to be fretting all weekend about it. So, in order for you to have a wonderful weekend, plan out next week before you go off, before you leave school, before you leave work. If you have assignments to do that are due on Monday, finish it on Friday evening. Finish it before you say the weekend is here. Because when you get all of that work done, when you get all of that assignment done, you know that your weekend is clear and it's all yours, then you're able to go out with friends. You're able to enjoy the meal. You're able to go out on that walk out into the environment and have a wonderful time. So I'm not going to be long with you this evening because remember, it's the weekend and I'm going to do me. So I'm saying to all of you, look back on the 10 things that I've said. Make sure that you have put away all your work and that you're ready for what you have. And if your weekend is just for you to go sleep, do you. Enjoy you. But I'm saying the weekend is not just for sleeping, it's for enjoyment. Do something new. Catch up with some friends. Go out in the outdoors and just enjoy life. And remember, it's the weekend. It's time for you to do you. Thank you for being with me this week on CNJ Let We Talk. And join me next week as I continue with this program. Tell your friends, tell somebody else to join us on the weekdays, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. We have guests sometimes, or sometimes it's just me and you. All right? So thank you for being with me this week, and I'll see you on Monday at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time for more of CNJ Let We Talk. Bye for now and enjoy the weekend.